My first package here at the new property. Welcome everybody, by the way. Welcome to the Voodoo Garden. My name is Ray. I will be your host, and I have a fun episode today. But first I want to get to the mail because this is great. This is my third item I've received, but it's the first package I've received from a viewer at my new home. And this is great. Thank you, by the way. This is from Joe, and Joe's a viewer and friend. These are called Jerusalem artichokes. And they're also nicknamed, oh, I hate the sound of a knife going through cardboard. Let's hurry up and get this done. And Jerusalem artichokes are also known as sunchokes. Sunchokes are sometimes thought of to be an invasive species, which of course they are, but then again, if it's something that you want to grow, invasive is good because that way it takes, ooh, shiny. Wow. Okay, I'll explain it first because I want to hurry up and get to this. Okay, Jerusalem artichokes are known as invasive because they have these roots that grow laterally underneath the soil, and then they pop up new plants all over the place, and once you plant them, you can never get rid of them. I think that's fantastic. That's exactly what I want. I want good plants that I enjoy that I can't get rid of. That way I don't have to worry about screwing them up. And Jerusalem artichokes are a root, and you can eat them. You can peel them, boil them, fry them. You can eat these things. They're absolutely delicious and nutritious, and they grow like mad. So anyway, these are called Jerusalem artichokes, but they produce a plant that grows crazy. And what I used to call it was the Hydra sunflower or daisy, because it puts up this stalk that gets really tall, like 6 feet tall, and it branches off into, this is what it looks like when it does it too. I feel like I'm a traffic cop. But no, it branches off into multi-headed, huge daisies or small sunflowers, actually related to sunflowers, and they put out these big, beautiful flowers. Thing about sunchoke flowers or Jerusalem artichoke flowers is they attract insects like you would not believe, and they don't do it in early spring, they do it in later summer, and that's actually a good thing because in later summer a lot of your insects have already done their thing, they laid their eggs, some of them are dying off, and it's not like as prolific as the spring insects. These are like a beacon. They're really tall, there's many of them, they're bright yellow, and they bring in the pollinating insects. So in your garden or next to your garden, I think this is going to be a good thing. I'm going to have them all around my property. And oh, I just dropped dirt on my toe. So I'm going to plant these all over the place. He sent this in a box, and it was in this plastic bag hanging off my mailbox. I have one of those old-fashioned rural mailboxes that you open up in the front and stuff. And I saw this big plastic bag hanging off of there, and I thought, oh, fun. So these came in dirt. Thank you so much, Joe. My gosh, he said he was going to send me some roots. He didn't say he was going to send me all of them. There's like a million of these things. This is fantastic. It's great. There is another gardener, John from Growing Your Greens. He definitely has so many good things to say about Jerusalem artichokes. He's a vegan, and I believe vegan or vegetarian, I don't know, whatever he is, he definitely promotes eating vegetables and growing vegetables and things like that. He's spoken so many times, I believe, about Jerusalem artichokes, and I think he really likes these things. I think he even gave some away once. But those are fantastic, and I had to try growing me some. Luckily, a viewer approached me and asked me if he could send me some. He sent me some at my old home, the one I just moved from. I planted them, they grew great, but I didn't want to dig them up to come here. So the new owners of the home are going to enjoy these flowers and roots. But he wanted to send me some to initiate and kick off my new home. So thank you so much. Wow, there are so many of these. And I'm going to have so much fun growing these. I don't know where I'm going to plant these, but you know what? I'm going to plant them all over the place. So hopefully I'll just have these wild things growing all over the place. Take a look at what these look like. I'm going to bring some over to you since you're too lazy to come over to me. Check this out. See? See? They put out shoots all over the place. It's similar to a potato. It looks like if a potato and ginger had a child. Yeah, that's what the roots look like. But boy, do they put out roots. Look at that. All along the stem. These are going to grow fantastic in this rich Iowa soil. Beautiful plants. These are beautiful. Really made my day. And the smell of the dirt too. I mean, you open this up and of course the first thing you're going to smell is soil, and they smell good. wherever Joe lives, he has some good soil. It actually smells really good, and it's a nice dark color. So these are going to be off to a good start. Thank you again, Joe. One last time. Thank you so much. Your little sunchokes are going to have a great home here, and I'm going to grow them, show them, and hopefully educate myself and some of the viewers on sunchokes, and possibly try and eat one and see what I think of the flavor, because I think that's going to be something different. Okay, off to something new. I told you there was going to be something new, and there is. Hold on just a second. Let me get rid of these, and let's get on to something else. Remember on the, not the last episode, but the last episode before I moved, I showed you that how I prune these. And I wanted to show you the update on these, because the pruning method, I think, is one of the best aspects of how I grow things. I want to show you what happened after the pruning. Some folks were a little bit skeptical, a little bit scared, which I can understand, about pruning their plants. And I want to reassure you by my own actions how well this method works. And if you want to try it yourself, you can. Come on, have a seat right here, and let's just look at these really quick before we go on to something else, because I have something else. I got a lot of things to do. But I want to show you this real quick before I take them outside, because it's growing season here. Yes, it is. The garden is ready. Well, it's not ready, but I'm ready. And if I'm ready, these plants got to be ready. No, it's actually warming up outside, and it's time to start the garden. So on the next Praxis episode, unless the Praxis episode comes before this, I'm going to be going outside and showing you something that I think you're really going to like with the garden. But for right now, take a look at what's going out in the garden. Take a look at these. And this is the Cubanelle after the pruning. You can see that I pruned it right here, and we have new growth right here and new growth right here. It's doing beautiful. The color is going to darken up as soon as I take them outside, because I've really kind of tossed things in here to get them going, but the color is going to darken up, but the growth is beautiful. Here's the Nardello. This is a wonderful plant. This is called the Jimmy Nardello pepper. It's a sweet Italian grilling pepper. And I got to keep putting dirt in here, or soil, because it keeps putting down roots along the stem where I buried them. Look at how nice this stem is. This is a beautiful stem. And I pruned it right here. These are the two new shoots. So it's very uniform. A beautiful plant. This is going to do really nice outside as well. And lastly, I don't know how to pronounce this, can you? It's called a giant Aconcagua. It's supposed to have peppers as large as a soda can, and that's just scary no matter how you look at it. I pruned this. It's got some new shoots, not growing quite as fast as the other ones, but then again, it's probably not known for growth pattern. It's just known for huge peppers. But these are doing extremely well. Let's go to the tomatoes. I want to show you this. It's kind of hard to show it all in one shot. Here's the prune spot. Remember, I pruned it down to just a couple leaf nodes. We got new shoots growing out right here, and this, yes, this too. Let me back it up, because it's really hard to get it all in one frame. This is the other shoot. It's not as uniform as you would want things to have, but you know what? Plants don't play by our rules. We may want them all beautiful, nice, and uniform, but sometimes that doesn't happen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to allow both of these suckers to grow. They're nice and low, and then what I'm going to do is probably prune this one down if it gets too tall, to force the growth on this one, and also to send out some new ones, because I want this one to be bushy, but not quite as tall as it generally gets. It'll get up to 14 feet tall. The Prax Cherry is quite the grower, and with the wind that I have out here growing this outside, having it 14 feet tall probably would not be the smartest thing, and I like to be as smart as possible whenever possible. I am amazed at the Boxcar Willie's progress. Look at the size of this stem. Remember, we pruned these back and they weren't really that thick, but look, compared to my little finger, that's a pretty good looking stem. We pruned it right here. Here's the new sucker that comes off. Let me move this camera just a little bit. It goes up about maybe 8-9 inches, but the same thing is happening on this left one. So we have two low suckers, and that's very sturdy. Each time you prune these, the stem behind the prune will get thicker. So if I prune these other suckers, this will get thicker, but this will also get thicker. I'm not going to do that right now. I want to show you something up close, something that you may not know, something that you may know, but check this out. Okay. Let me move some soil away and zoom in for you. See? Where I buried the stem, roots are growing out of the stem of the tomato. This will happen with pepper plants, eggplants, but most importantly, it will happen with tomato plants. Tomatoes are really, really good at doing this. I'm going to put the soil back. Now let me back you up. When I transplant this out into the garden in about, I'd say, a couple weeks at the most, I'm going to bury this all the way up to where I pruned it. And that way it'll have all of this, and this, by the way, will be a larger sucker, so it'll come out of the soil. We'll have all of this stem, this sucker, and part of this sucker, and part of this sucker are all going to be underneath the soil. They're going to put out roots, which means even more roots, and also it'll be a low plant. It'll look like two plants. Very stable, very well rooted. This is going to enable my plant, and yours if you do it the same way, it will enable your plant to put down a more extensive root system, and that will keep it from drying out in the heat of the summer. It'll help it get more nutrition because the roots are deeper and more extensive than most plants. It's an all-purpose help for your plant. So if you want to try this, please give it a go. And I can assure you that your plants are going to do a lot better than if you just put them into the soil like this. And you can also lay them down sideways and do the trench method. I prefer not to do that because the trench method only buries it shallow, whereas this buries it deep. And I like deep burying because that way, whenever I forget to water the plant or when it gets really hot, you have deep roots that are taking advantage of the water way, way down when the topsoil is dry. Nice thing about keeping the topsoil dry is it keeps away fungus. So it's a bonus no matter how you look at it. I hope you enjoyed the tomato and pepper update. I am very happy with them. And by the way, if you're pruning your plants the same way, I hope yours are doing good. One last thing I wanted to do on the Voodoo Garden episode. Oh God. Come on, let's get this done. This monster is my scorpion pepper. I've been growing this for a few years now. And it's going nuts. It's going nuts. In this little tiny pot, it has lived practically its whole life. And I want to be bringing in new plants into the Voodoo Garden to keep it fresh and also to change it up a little bit. This plant has really done well, and it has impressed me and thousands, tens of thousands of viewers worldwide. I do appreciate that. But I've decided that it's pretty much done what it's going to do. I mean, I've grown it really wide. I've done pruning videos to show you how to prune your pepper plants. I've grown it tall, and it's gotten taller than me at one point. Now it's fruited like crazy. It looks like a little apple tree, doesn't it? Well, it's time to go on to the next adventure for this plant. What I want to do with this is I'm going to harvest, I'm going to, I was looking for these. I'm going to harvest the fruit. Yeah, this thing is loaded with flowers. Loaded with flowers, and I don't use that term lightly. It is. There are literally hundreds upon hundreds of flowers here, and there are over a dozen ripe scorpion peppers. These are one of the hottest peppers on the planet, and I'm so happy with these. I don't eat these, but what I'm going to do is cut these off. Oh, I just got scorpion juice on my finger. This is going to be a bad day. Okay, I got to wash this thumb. Remind me to wash this thumb. I very rarely get a chance to use my biggest pruners. And here we go, folks. It's been fun, I know, but you ready for it? Oh. Oh. Yeah, I have a muscle cramp going on there. Come on, scorpion. Holy cow. Let go. Let go. Oh, that's quite a plant. I don't need this bamboo anymore because I don't need to prop it. Well, actually, you know what? No, I don't need that. I'm going to grow them low and fat. So bamboo can be used for some other use. I got to be careful because if I hit one of these lights, oh, bad day, bad day. All right, you, down. Still doesn't look bad. Come on. Oh, it's going to be a beautiful plant. You think about it. It's got a full root system. It's got great soil. It's got a stem like you would not believe. It looks ridiculously huge. It looks like a bonsai. And it's going to grow nicely outside. Oh, I love the smell of this room. Everything smells so good. So I'm going to take the rest of these off of here. Look, it's raining peppers. It's amazing. You know, there are so many things that you can do inside, and that's what the Voodoo Garden is designed for. For those of us that, well, those of you possibly, that cannot get outside. Either you're not well enough to garden outside, maybe you're older and you don't want to do it outside, maybe you're in an apartment, or for whatever reason, oh, there goes one, you want to garden inside. The Voodoo Garden, okay, there, now I can, oh, there's more. The Voodoo Garden is designed to help you, encourage you to, I know I'm not focusing, but it's designed to help you and encourage you to grow inside. Because there are so many ways to garden, we don't have to go down that beaten path. I don't like the beaten path. It's boring, it's crowded. I like to dance to my own song. And that's what the Voodoo Garden's all about. So for indoor growing, I hope you enjoyed the things that I do here, because it is so much fun. Indoor gardening can be just as much fun as outdoor gardening if you just relax, forget what everybody's telling you, and just try new things. That's what I do. I try new things. I tried this. Nobody's ever really done this before, and it was fun. Time to go on to something else. This, by the way, if you haven't noticed this elephant in the room, this is my cedro lemon. Yeah, it's one of those lemon trees that grow a huge, big, fat, honking lemon, and I don't know what's going on with this. You know what's really good about a cedro lemon? They don't have thorns. You know, if you've ever grown a orange tree or a lemon tree, they have thorns, and that may not be so fun for you, but this one has none. Nope, it has absolutely no thorns, and all you got to do is barely touch it. Oh wow, it smells lemony like nothing I've ever smelled. It's wonderful. It's a big, healthy plant. I'm probably gonna have to transplant it soon. I didn't plan on it growing this big this fast. Anyway, I think I'm pretty much done. I gotta go gather up all my little peppers before Rascal finds them. That would be a very bad day for Rascal. And I'm gonna dry these out. I'm gonna give out the seeds. I'm gonna take these outside because it's just about time to start hardening them off. And it'll clear out some room so that we can grow some new things here in the Voodoo Garden. Thanks everybody for joining me for this episode. I really did enjoy it. The pepper plant didn't enjoy it, but he will enjoy it later on when I take it outside. Thanks everybody for joining me for this episode. I really do appreciate it. This is Ray in the Voodoo Garden. I'm out of here. Bye. Little scorpion stinger.